A daring mission. American Special Forces using the cover of darkness to safely evacuate dozens of people from the U.S. Embassy in Sudan. This as fighting in the East African nation spirals out of control. More than 400 people, including one American, have been killed in the past week of fighting. And the question now becomes how to get the 16,000 Americans still in Sudan out. Correspondent Evyn live for us in Washington with the details from that evacuation and the plans going forward now. Evyn?
Yes, 100 American diplomats who woke up in Sudan this morning have now been evacuated as the situation there descends into near civil war. The White House watching this closely with nearly 16,000 Americans still stuck there. The question now, how to get them out.
The U.S. Embassy in Sudan evacuated. All Americans on the diplomatic staff airlifted out overnight as conflict near their nation's capital of Khartoum grows closer to full-blown civil war. Last night, American Special Forces touched down in Sudan and evacuated all U.S. government personnel in just under an hour. 3 Chinook helicopters traveled 800 miles, taking off from a U.S. base in Djibouti, refueling in Ethiopia before dropping down into Khartoum. Military officials calling it a fast and clean operation as just under 100 Americans rescued and flown to Ethiopia. This photo showing Secretary of State Antony Blinken overseeing the operation. In a statement issued from Camp David, President Biden thanking the unmatched skills of the U.S. service members and for the help of neighboring countries, going on to say the violence has already cost hundreds of lives and must stop, that the parties must implement a ceasefire. Despite the successful extraction at the U.S. Embassy, there are still an estimated 16,000 Americans stuck in Sudan. The Department of Defense saying they are trying to detect routes available for further rescues, but warning officials don't foresee coordinating an evacuation at this time or in coming days.
It is not our standard procedure to evacuate American citizens living abroad.
Yeah, I'm worried. You got thousands of people in the middle of a civil war, and right now, if I were an American in Sudan, I would shelter in place, and hopefully we can find a way to end the fighting.
Sudan, the third largest country in Africa, has been a level 4 do not travel safety advisory from the U.S. since August of 2021, nearly 2 years before descending into a war zone in the last 2 weeks.
Been very clear, literally since 2021, that Americans should not travel to Sudan. The vast majority of the numbers that have been bandied around 16,000 are dual nationals, Sudanese Americans.
Officials today discussing possibilities of land evacuations to the port of Sudan. The State Department tweeting a form to fill out, providing any information on options to leave as they arise.
It unwound fast in just the last week. These two warring factions have started what may well be a fight to the finish.
The sudden slide is causing international distress, with other countries like Britain, Italy, and France all moving to evacuate their diplomats from the country today as well. Natasha.
Well, Evyn, what does the U.S. government do next when it comes to the remaining thousands of Americans in that country?
The U.S. government will likely try to mediate peace, but it is interesting to note, Natasha, that the evacuation out of Afghanistan has to be top of mind for the Biden administration. Obviously, the situation is much different, but there were lessons to be learned and things that the administration will certainly not want to do when it comes to Sudan.
I appreciate that. Evyn live for us in Washington tonight. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.